Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Deepak Bhagchandaney, and I head the managed services business for CMS Info Systems. Just to set the perspective in order and set the expectations right, I have just 10 minutes with you all, and in the next 10 minutes, I'm just going to run 6 to 7 slides, talking about and focusing on some 2-3 key solutions which are relevant for retail as an industry and which are powered by technology, which is predominantly artificial intelligence and automation. Quickly getting on to the presentation. The people who have collected here belong to retail industry and are well deep entrenched. You must be observing various trends in terms of growth. The whole landscape of retail industry as it is changing in the country, I think you all bear a live testimony to that. From our standpoint, which is CMS, when we look at this industry and what does it entail in terms of business for us, we are clearly seeing that there is a 40% year-on-year growth in terms of retail cash points to be picked up from. There is 25% growth in the e-commerce endpoints from where we collect cash. We also see that a lot of digitally native companies are going in for an omnichannel strategy wherein they are complementing their online strategy with offline presence and hence opening physical stores for touch and feel or maybe a better customer trust. Lastly, the organized retail, which is brick and mortar, is also spreading across the length and breadth of the country for deeper penetration and wider access. This kind of a shift or a dynamic landscape change will have its fair share of challenges. There could be many challenges which, in fact, the panel discussion here to previous sessions in the morning, we heard, right from logistics, real estate, manpower, cash flows, and so on and so forth. In the next few slides, I'm going to touch upon a couple of challenges which CMS as a company is in a position to mitigate and give solutions for. Clearly, the challenges which we are in a position to address are of two kinds. One, to do with cash flow management. Cash flow management from the point of view of helping you reduce the cash shrinkage, right? Freeing up the working capital which is locked up in inefficient processes, and in addition to that, reducing the dependency on people for various reconciliation as well as reporting activities. That's the one challenge which we talk about in terms of cash logistics. The second part to this is how do we prevent the pilferage, the theft, in terms of having effective security and surveillance systems. We'll talk about in future slides the battery of solutions that we have to offer in that. Moreover, what we see in terms of security and surveillance, that quintessentially we are talking about a CCTV infrastructure which is going to record the video footage in your stores. Having video footage with us can lead to giving you valuable business insights. But there aren't many systems or many technologies in the market which can read this footage and throw you business intelligence. So what we are talking about is not just surveillance, but business insights on top of it. Simple facts could be like getting the footfall count or gender ratio and so on and so forth. I'll touch first upon the cash flow and cash logistics challenge. At CMS, we are the largest cash management and cash logistics company in the country. Having said that, we have a variety of services which will help you facilitate cash logistics, cash processing, as well as reconciliation. Having done that, you will definitely be in a much better position to mitigate risks on account of cash shrinkage, and in addition to that, free up the cash flows, maximize the cash flows for better working capital management. There are 3 offerings which we have in our portfolio. One is to do with cash pickup and deposits, which will do seamless cash management and cash handling from the pickup point up to the bank deposits. Cash X is a product that we have for superior working capital management. And lastly, we have a smart, safe, and automation right at the retail premise in the form of a retail cash vault. All the 3 offerings are being demonstrated and discussed at our booth outside. If you would like to engage in any of this, feel free to interact with our team at the site. Now, when we talk of the second challenge, which is to do with security surveillance, it's very commonly understood that when we talk about security surveillance, we are talking about a CCTV infrastructure. Most of the places around, when you see, you have 4 or 5 cameras in a small format retail shop with a storage device like a DVR or an NVR, and we just are recording the footages, right? At CMS, we offer remote monitoring services, and please note the fact that we don't call it e-surveillance or a security service. We talk about remote monitoring because not does that it only includes security surveillance, but there are offerings way beyond just the surveillance. We are in a position to detect the anomalies in any standard operating procedure at that very moment and take actions or throw alerts in the real time for you to action on them. Today, if you see, we are managing close to 21,000 sites for various banks and other retail stores where we are throwing certain use case based alerts and preventing frauds and thefts in real time. We have prevented close to 1,000 frauds and thefts in the last close to a year's time. So hence, this is the remote monitoring service from CMS, which enables you to take the actions in real time and hence accordingly prevent the thefts and pilferages and frauds. In addition to this, we are in a position to run our AI analytics software on the video feeds which is being taken from the various cameras in your retail outlet. Having done that, we have an analytics engine which will analyze this video and give you, again, the alerts or the business insights. As I said in the past that you can count the number of people who have come in, you can probably detect the gender, you can even check the fact that people have bought the stuff from the store or went empty-handed. So a lot of these analytics and data, I'll give you a simple example. We came across a franchisee retail where the problem statement was that a franchisee doesn't open the store at 10 o'clock in the morning, and for me to monitor 1,000 franchises, check each and every store, by the time I check it's evening and the store closing time. And that's where a solution like this comes. A shutter sensor integrated with the AI-enabled remote monitoring station will at 10 o'clock take the report and at 10:05 dump it with you and say that out of your 1,000 stores, 25 didn't open on time or were closed when they checked. And then you have to address only those 25 and not 1,000. So this is the kind of efficiency which you bring into the system and then hence bring down the cost and improve the customer experience as well. Lastly, one very important thing, when I talk about all these solutions, one common question crops up in the mind, oh, so that means I'll have to change everything and now I'll have to deploy new setup and new systems. And that's where the last offering called VSaaS, Video Surveillance as a Service, which is a subscription-based software model, is applicable. We can use the current existing infrastructure in your stores or retail outlets, which is cameras and NVRs. We take all these feeds on a software-based subscription model, we run analytics on that and give you alerts in real time. So no fresh CapEx involvement and leveraging the current CapEx with some top-up applications to increase the efficiency and even fraud and prevent the frauds and theft detections. While we were talking about these, we have developed several use cases for retail industry. Having said that, we also have gone ahead and built a very specialized hardware for retail, targeted at retail segment per se. Typically, you have cameras installed, and these cameras are nothing but video grabbing devices, right? And then the video footage is stored into a DVR or NVR. We have a very powerful AI embedded hardware in the form of a camera. Basically, what we are able to do is, we are able to not only take the video footage, but analyze it in real time at the premise there itself. So a high processing power at the camera end will help you analyze the image there and there itself. The beauty of this solution is when it's integrated with our software platform behind, we are in a position to classify various images and various objects from object detection, pose analysis, facial recognition, and even aisle analytics. This data, when it comes in, we can throw it back to either the command center within the store or at a centralized command center and convert them into actionable intelligence, and the alerts can be acted upon to prevent this stuff in real time. These were some of the solutions from CMS. When you look at the retail industry and the complementing industries, whether it is franchisees, warehousing, manufacturing, there are dime a dozen use cases, and given the power of AI and analytics, sky is the limit to your imagination, where you can decide a use case as relevant to your business. And the same can be built, developed, tested in your premises before final implementation. Some of the use cases that I've listed here range from energy efficiency to store opening, closing, to inventory management. We can count the boxes and pallets lying in your warehouse. There are several other theft, pilferage. We can even do energy management, temperature control, and so on and so forth. All these solutions which I discussed, predominantly two, one around cash logistics and remote monitoring services, come from a company which I represent here. You've heard the name enough. You're seeing the name by the side, CMS Info Systems. I'll just take last 1 minute to touch upon what is CMS. You should know who we are. CMS is a 2,000 crore company which is listed on stock exchanges and publicly traded. We are the largest cash logistics company in the country, and we touch close to 1,24,000 points for cash collection and disbursement, which range from ATMs to retail outlets. Our spread in the country is 97% of the districts here, which is second only to Indian Post. And having said that, we, in terms of AIoT, as in remote monitoring services, we today monitor more than 21,000 sites from our command and control center, which is at Navi Mumbai, Mahape. Today, we have close to 20,000 custodians which are doing the services of cash logistics, and close to 1,000 field engineers who are in a position to give you technology services. With this as a background, CMS is clearly the #1 cash logistics and AI-based remote monitoring company in the country. That's all from my side. I will invite you all to visit our booth and see some of these products which I've talked about live in action. Thank you so much.